Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today I want to discuss with you gear I take on a week-long trip to Norway. Now I'm taking the family, so there's going to be 4 of us, so we've got to take a lot of gear with us. That's food for the week because there's no shops. We're in the middle of nowhere. It's a beautiful place we're going to, but it can also be quite dangerous because obviously you haven't got access to hospitals and stuff like that. So we've got to take with us everything we need for a full week. And there's the team coming as well. The biggest problem we found was food. I'm going to go through that later on. But first of all, I want to show you the type of equipment I use. And most of the gear is modern. You know, normally I like using old-fashioned equipment and stuff. But on this particular trip, I'm going modern because of the weight I've got to carry. I've got a modern rucksack. We've got a boat I want to show you that we take because that makes your trip a lot better. So I'm going to go through everything. I'll get everything out so you can have a look at it. So this is a Packraft. It's basically a boat. It's about the same size of a sleeping bag. It weighs 2 kg. I'll show it you properly later, but these are quite expensive, but they make your trip a whole lot better. You know, you get to a big lake, you can go exploring islands, you can go and collect firewood from the other side of the lake where there's probably less people, so you can collect dry firewood. But they're £400 each. It's a lot of money. So what we did, Julie came up with the idea. We all chip in £100 each, and we bought 2. So we've got 2 boats on a trip. Now it's not too dear, £100 if you look at it that way. I mean, £100, yeah, it's a lot of money, but it means that we've got so much enjoyment now. We can even. You can even use these as a sleep mat. You know, you can lie on them and sleep on them. We have tested them. I'll go into that later. I'll just put that out of the way. So this is an Osprey modern rucksack. Now, really, really comfortable pack. Normally I use the Frost River pack, but obviously I want comfort. The back system on this, it's really, really good. And you've got this mesh as well, so when you're red hot walking and you're sweating, you've got the pack off your back. So you know that's quite important. You know, keeping comfortable. You know, getting the most out of your trip. Now, what I did do, because packing everything was quite difficult to get the bulk of it in here, I got one of these vacuum sealers. I've seen Dave and Julie had one, and you can put food in these vacuum sealer bags. It sucks the air out of them and it compresses everything. So I've been using it for everything. So in here I've got my waterproof, which is a Jervins bag. Now if you've not seen these, they're kind of like a poncho, you know, like a waterproof poncho. I can use it as a basher. They're quite expensive, but again, a good bit of kit. But I vacuum sealed it, and I've got the weight right down, the pack size right down on that. And I've done the same for clothes as well, you know. These are actually swimming shorts. These are my swimming shorts, and, you know, the pack size has gone right down with that. So this is what I mean about vacuum sealing your food. You know, that is a day's food for 4 people. George, Rafe, Hannah, me. That's a day's worth of food for 4 people. And we spread the food out amongst us, you know, between the family. In here I've got vacuum sealed underpants and socks, a week's supply. And this is a good idea. Get a toilet roll, take the centre out of it, you know, the cardboard spool in the middle, take that out and crush it down and vacuum pack it, and now you've got a toilet roll. That's probably do me for the week, and it's just compact. You know, you put a full toilet roll in your rucksack, it's going to take up a lot of room. So we've got all sorts in here. So this is the DD Superlight family tent. It's a 4-man tent. This is the Bugnesh inner, which is great to keep out mosquitoes and stuff. You can just use the inner if you want with a tarp over it, so you've got a nice view of the countryside. Or obviously you can put the waterproof fly sheet on the top as well if you want to do that. This is the fly sheet. As you can see, 4-man family size tent, it's probably lighter and smaller than most 2-man super light tents. Again, these aren't cheap, but they're worth the money. I've had it for about nearly 2 years now, and it's been great. I do recommend these, especially, you know, if you've got a family. But even if you haven't got a big family and you just go in solo, you've got loads of room for your equipment and stuff like that. Vacuum packed smock. This is a canvas, kind of cotton canvas over smock that is quite baggy and loose, and it's great to keep the mosquitoes off you, but also it keeps you cool and keeps the sun off you a little bit, and can keep you warm as well if you combine it with other layers. This is actually a kind of warm poncho, and it's an extra blanket because I'm using a thin down sleeping bag. This actually can go over me at night time if I get a bit chilly, sat around the campfire, if the wind picks up or if it starts raining and I'm sat underneath a tarp. I've got something warm to put on, but also I can use it as a blanket in addition to my sleep system as well. So it's a good idea. It's very lightweight. You weigh nothing. I'll try and find links to all these things for you and put them in my description. So you've got a bit of a cough. And then I've got my sleep mat here, my inflatable sleep mat. The bag itself will pump up the mat. You trap air in it and you can pump up the mat. And a good addition to your kit is to have a very comfortable chair. Now, a lot of people who are backpacking light don't take chairs because they want to go super lightweight. I understand that. But if you're somewhere for a week, it's important to be comfortable and enjoy it, get the most out of your holiday. So these chairs here, Nature Hike, they're lightweight, they're quite bulky, but they're lightweight, but they've got a full backrest on them. Really comfortable. This is the poles for the DD family size tent, the pyramid tent, which aluminium, they're quite lightweight. In here, I have a water filter bag. Collect water from a lake. I attach a swayer water filter to the bottom of it, and the gravity of the water pushing down forces the water through the water filter and purifies the water. Now, water filters are great, but they don't work for chemicals. So make sure you do get your local knowledge, do a bit of research before your trip, find out if that water is safe to drink. Now, the lake we're going to is actually a reservoir. It feeds water to the local town where we're going. So you could probably drink the water straight from a lake at a push. I suggest boiling it if you haven't got a water filter. But these water filters are lifesavers. In Africa, you know, they're saving whole entire villages. They're a good bit of kit. They're lightweight. They don't cost too much money. And one water filter will last you your lifetime. So that's my water collection bag. You can also use it as a bit of a shower if you want. You can put water in it, hang it from a tree and use it to, you know, wash if you like. Now in here, I've used it as a dry bag. You know, double up on your kit. Try and get the most out of it. If a piece of equipment can do more than one job, it's always a bonus. Now in here, I have my down over quilt. It's for a hammock. It's like half a sleeping bag. You've got a foot box on it and it goes over you. But for summer, that's all I need. I don't need a great big sleeping bag. And again, I've got the blanket as well, which is showing you the warm poncho, what I can use in addition with this. So in here, I've got the water filter. That's it. It's basically the Swayer Mini, and it fits to this nozzle here. And you've got a straw as well. And you've got a kind of syringe that you use occasionally to back flush the filter. So after so many uses, back flush it and it pushes all the debris out of it, all the dirty water and stuff, and it helps keep it flowing better, if you know what I mean. Now, of course, I can't get everything in my bag because we're going for the family. So the kit's divided between the 4 of us. I'm going to get the kids' bags out in a minute. I'm going to get Hannah's bag out. They've got different equipment. Like I'm kind of a RAFT, so I'm not taking the cut kit. The kids have got the cut kit. We've got a wash kit here. This is my personal wash kit. I've got some toothpaste tablets, which are handy for Arctic conditions because the toothpaste doesn't freeze because it's tablet formed. But I can use these for summer as well. I've got Grandpa's Pine Tar soap, which is much better for the environment than modern, your normal conventional soaps and stuff. It's very important that when you're washing away from water sources, 100 meters away from water at least. You don't want to be taking soap into lakes and washing in the lakes with soap. We do wash in the lakes, but we don't use any soap. And then when we come out, we might have a shower, or we have a collapsible bowl or a mess tin or a billy can that you can wash with. And you don't want any soap in the reservoirs or water because it would just destroy the ecosystem. You've got to be very respectful of the nature, So I've got my toothbrush in there and all things like that. Like I say, the rest of the family's got the other kit because we're dividing the weight. We've got a sophisticated first aid kit because there's no hospitals. I have a travel pillow here, so like I said, comfort. You're there for a week, you want to be comfortable, So we've got like an inflatable pillow. You've seen these before, I don't have to get all this stuff out. This is an MSR pocket rocket stove, so it's a gas stove. You can get gas pretty much anywhere in Norway. Petrol stations tend to sell gas, and they're pretty much all screw on now. Years ago, you used to have a piercing canisters, and it was difficult to find the right gas for what you needed. But nowadays, most of them have just got these screw tops, and obviously, you don't want to be having fires if you can help it, because you don't want to be causing forest fires. And if you're cooking, you want to do it away from your camp because you don't want to attract pests like foxes when they come in nicking your food. Like they did on the last trip, they stole all our breakfast. A local fox come, we was warned about him, and he come and took our breakfast. So your food and stuff, you want to be hanging from the trees in dry bags if you can, off the floor. There might be bears where you're going as well, you got to consider that. So don't cook in your camp, cook away from your camp, Now, another thing that's quite good to have if you're swimming is these boat shoes, these kind of rubberized boating shoes. Now, the reason I use these is there's a lot of sharp branches underneath the water sometimes, branches falling, the wind's weathered the branches and sharpened the end of the little bits coming off them. They end up being sharp and they can pierce your feet. You don't want that. But these are good as well because when you've been wearing your boots all day hiking, you can slip into knees and just walk around camp. Any little stones aren't going to hurt your feet. These are quite lightweight. They're inexpensive. These are a good thing to take. Now, tool-wise, I'm not taking my big saw, my big axe, because I don't need to. I'm using a box stove. I'll show you that in a minute. Now, the reason I'm using a twig stove is because I don't really need a campfire to keep warm because it's summer. And I don't want a big fire anyway because it's a fire risk. So the tools I've taken, I only need a small knife. This is a puku. I got this in Finland. Sami style knife. Really good for carving spoons and spatulas and opening packets and preparing food. And I've just got the basic Laplander saw. If I want to just cut a little bit of firewood, I've got a small saw. Lightweight, that's what you got to think. If you go in for a long time, you really have to think lightweight. It's okay in the UK when I'm car camping, and I can take what I want, but on this trip I can't. So this is a very small axe I've got, very small little hatchet, handy for carving. An activity to do at night time is to carve, equipment that I might need, spatulas and stuff. But it also will do the job. It's small, but it will actually do the job. As long as you have them razor sharp, these will do it. This was from Axminster Tools. And the handle was broken by my brother years ago. So I've shortened it. So it's just a really great little hatchet. I love that. So these modern rucksacks, they've got all these little side compartments here that you can put equipment in. What have I got in here? I've got a little torch. You know, it doesn't go dark where we're going. Not really. It goes a little bit dull around about midnight for a little bit, then it's light again. It's the land of a midnight sun, so you don't really need a torch in Norway this time of year, you know, summertime. I mean, I have got here another head torch, and the reason I'm taking this is I believe there's an old cave where we're going, and in World War II, Norwegian resistance used it as a base, and they hid arms in it and stuff, and I want to see that piece of history. Now in here, I've got pack wax. Now pack wax isn't of a market at the moment. My friend's been developing it. He's come up with this wax that has got natural bug repellent in it. It's got plantain in it, so that, you know, you can heal cuts and things like that. And it's good for chapped lips. You know, even if your zips are sticking on your rucksacks or on your coats or anything like that, you can apply a little bit of pack wax to it. You can waterproof boots with it and stuff like that. Keep an eye out for this pack wax. Don't steal the name. It belongs to Matthew. Get that in there. Design that little logo. We all have pack wax. Another good feature about this rucksack, this hood here, this floating hood, it's designed to have a floating hood so that you can, it's a mountaineering rucksack basically. So you can put ropes in it and other equipment, and you can lift it up high so you can store more stuff on top of your pack. It's handy for the Packraft to sit on top, you know. But in here you've got other storage, you've got your pockets. I've got, in here, I've got my tools, I've got a blow poker, a fire starter kit, knife sharpener, things like that. You've seen this before in other videos, so I don't need to go into it. Bank line, it's basically tarred line. It's natural line, tarred, so it's waterproof, very lightweight. That's handy for putting up tarps and making tripods and anything you like, really. So I've got quite a lot of cordage. Cordage is something that we can make when we're out there, but it's always handy to have extra cordage. You never know what you're going to need it for. This is some old plumb line from work. I seen was lying around. Someone just discarded it, and I coiled it up. This is lightweight plumb line, cheaper than paracord to buy, packs down smaller than paracord, and it's just as strong. So, you know, that's quite a lot of cordage, and it's lightweight. Some more cordage. Collapsible water bottles. So this is a platypus collapsible water bottle. Now, I can fill this full of water and stand on it and it won't break. They're very strong, durable water bottles, platypus. They're not cheap, but they won't break. You know, I mean, it could do, but I've never had one break on me before now. Now, another option for you to save weight and bulk is when you get to your destination, the first supermarket or the last supermarket, should I say, that you go to, get yourself a bottle of smart water. You know, a normal bottle of water, plastic bottle. Put it on the outside of your rucksack. That's your water to walk in, because you've probably got a 10-kilometre walk or maybe more. And you've got your drinking water, and then that water bottle keep, because you can use it to put your filtered water in. So you're minimalising bulk. You're not taking with you, you know, unnecessary things. If you're buying a bottle of water, you've got it. Of course, here I've got my head net. This is a mesh bug net that can go over my hat. Wide brimmed hat, silly hat in this case. Wide brimmed hats are very good because they keep the sun off you, they keep the rain off you, and also when you wear your bug net, it keeps a bug net from touching your face, creating a gap between the mosquitoes and your skin. If you just put a mosquito net directly on your head with no hat, they're just going to bite through it. Matthew was in a hammock once with a bug net, and his back was exposed to the side of a bug net, and it was an all-night, all-you-can-eat buffet for the mosquitoes. His back looked like a pepperoni pizza by the time he woke up in the morning. It's just little things, you know, little things you've got to do. So I've got a dry bag here, which is an Osprey lightweight dry bag, which I've just got. I don't know what for yet, but I'm thinking for myself, when I put my warm layer in, which I haven't packed yet, it can keep that dry. Or if I've got some wet clothing from swimming, some swimming shorts and stuff like that, if I haven't got time to dry it out before we go home on a plane, I can put them in a dry bag, wring them out, put them in a dry bag, and it's not going to affect the rest of, you know, the kit in my rucksack. So in here I've got my belt, which my tools will go on to. When I've got my smock on, this will hold it nicely together. Belts are handy to have because you can use them for gear pulling. You can use them for, you know, help make a stretcher for a casualty, climbing trees, a knife strap for sharpening your tools. But yeah, that's my belt. Oh, in here as well, this is a rucksack cover, a waterproof rucksack cover that comes with the Osprey bag. Dave sold me this rucksack very kindly at a good price, and this particular cover he vacuum sealed. Just keeps it safe. Everything vacuum sealed. I'm not a lover of plastic, but in this case it works quite well. Titanium. This is a titanium chain. So if I make a bipod or tripod or anything like that, now I've got a chain. With this chain I can hang my billy cans off it for boiling water. You can also use it between two trees if you want as a bit of a washing line, you know, to dry your kit out. That's what your cordage is handy for, because you'll be washing your clothes. There's no point in taking clothes what you don't need when you can wash them. Even if it's raining, you can hang them underneath a tarp and let the wind dry them out. Right, I normally use my Russian military airborne canteen that you would have seen. It's a billy can with a water bottle and a cup that comes with it. But because I'm pushing the boundaries on my pack weight, because I'm only allowed to take 22, 23 kg in the plane, with the food, it's just pushing me a little bit over. So I purchased these titanium little cups from Amazon. They come in a little bag. Now I've got this little mucket style cup, which is very handy. You know, there's enough water in there probably to do one of the hydrated meals if I want, or make a nice cup of tea. Now inside that, it comes with, I'll put a link in the description to this, it comes with a little folding titanium spork, you know, little spoon cum fork. And that would do me for the week. That's all I need. Utensil wise, that would do. This would do me. If I need anything else, I can make it. So that's your little fork, spoon, what comes with it. And then inside here, you've got lids as well. You've both got lids. Inside here, you've got another cup. So I thought, well, this would do Hannah. You've got a little cup. You can also use that as a small billy can as well if you want for cooking. You weigh absolutely nothing, you know. The only problem is they burn your lips, so a tip is to get some duct tape, if you like, and put it on the side. There is some kind of silicone rubber kind of attachments you can put on to stop you burning your lips as well. But I haven't bought one of those yet. Yeah, it's very, very important to plan a week-long expedition. You know, if you're taking 4 of you or 3 of you or 8 of you, doesn't matter. You've still got to plan it in the same way because you want the most out of your trip, you know. Now, like I said before, the biggest problem is the bulk of the food. So what you want to be looking at is taking with you stuff what you are allowed to fly in a plane. You have to check with your airline, check what country you're going to. In our case, it's Norway. You have to make sure that what I'm taking isn't going to get me fined, or they're going to take the stuff out of my pack and I'm not going to have any food. Because you're not allowed to take stuff like meat, fish, things like that. So do a bit of research on that. And what we do, we take enough food that it will last us a week, but we go to the last supermarket and we buy things like pepperami, moose sausage, reindeer sausage, maybe some vegetables, some butter, things like that, and then you can just add it to your, to your food stash. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to fly it. Sit mat, very handy piece of kit. Use it, put it on your chair, keep your bum warm. Also, you can put your feet on it when you're getting changed, and yeah, possibilities are endless. It's always handy to have a good sit mat. They're lightweight, they don't take up much room in your pack. This is the fire maple firebox I was talking about, the twig stove. That will save you a lot of time and effort. It's safer, you can put it on rocks and it's not going to burn the ground. I'll just show you this quickly. You can get these off Amazon if you just Google, I won't put this in the description, but if you just Google fire maple box stove or something like that, you'll be able to find it. Yeah, they just basically slot together like this. Very simply. I need to tidy up here, really. You've got a bottom grate that goes in. Like so. And you have this top cooking rack, if you like. Then you can cook on it, put a big billy can on it or anything like that. Now these aren't super light, these are not super light, but they're a game changer. So as you can see, just in my pack alone, I've got all this equipment. Like I said before, it's important to compress everything down. Get lightweight gear if you can afford it. Cut corners, no. You don't want to be cutting corners because you're on holiday. At the end of the day, it's an expedition. It's a bushcraft expedition, but we're on holiday. This is our family holiday and we want it to be as enjoyable as possible. So it's just thinking about how to get all this in that pack. Now I'm going to get the boys' packs now and Hannah's packs. I'm going to quickly show you loosely what they're taking so you understand the amount of kit we're taking on this trip. It's quite a lot, but there's ways around how to pack it. We'll go through that. The bulk is rising and rising and rising. So this is Hannah's pack. It's a very lightweight pack from Go Outdoor, Decathlon actually, from Decathlon. Again, it's got the mesh back system on it, and it's really lightweight. Now Hannah's not very big, and she's got weak knees, so I thought get her a decent pack. It's about being comfortable at the end of the day. Rafe's got the Sabre. So he's quite big now. He's 15, going on 16. He does a lot of fitness and training and things, so he can take a bit of weight like me. I'm getting to be an old man. Maybe one day he would take more weight than me, who knows. But we divided all the kit for the whole family between 4 rucksacks. Now this is George's pack. It's a cheap pack, Euro Hike, from Decathlon again. I think it was Decathlon. Or was it Go Outdoors? Go Outdoors. From Go Outdoors, sorry. Yeah, the back system's okay on this. It's not great. He's a little bit overweight, I think, because he's only small. He's 11, but he's quite small. So he's got quite a lot of weight in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to spread the kit out again and show you just what's in everyone else's pack. Okay, so this is basically George's kit. In it, he's got his sleep mat, he's got his sleeping bag in a dry bag to keep it dry, obviously. He's got a poncho in case it rains, that's his waterproof. It also serves as a tarp. He's got a rucksack cover, a bug net, sit pad. He's got his little Trangia mini mess tins with a collapsible water bottle in it, a whistle and a spark. And he's got his cup. So that's basically his mess kit sorted out. He's not taking a chair because of being lightweight and being small, so he's got a hammock chair. This is basically a mini hammock. We suspend it between two trees, so he's got a seat. He's got a bit of food. He's got some dry fruit for the porridge, because we have porridge every morning. And he's got a brew kit, an extra brew kit. So we've got tea, coffee in there, soups, you know, stuff like that. Trousers, towel, underpants, socks, t-shirts, spare clothes, all vacuum sealed. I mean, that's his underpants and socks for a week, you know. There's some t-shirts, and he's got this ex-military cotton shirt which will help keep the mosquitoes off, keep the sun off him. And of course he's got his swimming shoes. So even though George is small, he's helping carrying the family's food supply. All right, he's got a little bit of a brew kit and he's got the dry fruit, but it's helping taking some of the weight off me, off Hannah, off Rafe, and it's about sharing the load, really. I'll just show you what's in Hannah's pack. Okay, again, so in Hannah's pack, she's got some food. That's a day's supply of food. That's a day's supply of food. She's got a solar shower, a pocket shower. That's a great bit of kit. Weighs nothing. Holds up to 10 litres of water. It's a water carrier as well. She's got a poncho, a Dutch Army poncho there, compact. She's got swimming costume, a shamar, toilet roll, the shoes again, sleeping bag, all that business. But what she's got is this trowel here. This is a titanium trowel, and we can use this for digging the toilet, you know. So amongst the team, between us all, we've got enough for everybody, you know. We share kit. Again, she's got a chair, and she's got this little puku knife again with a name on it. Got that in Finland. And we'll just go through Rafe's kit now. So this is Rafe's equipment here. Again, he's got 1, 2, 3 days worth of food there. He's carrying quite a lot of bulk. Obviously his clothes, stuff like that. But what he has got is a sophisticated first aid kit. He's got a lot of equipment in here. And it's very important that we've got the means to look after ourselves when we're in the middle of nowhere. Like I said before, there's no hospitals. So we've all got to be a bit competent with first aid. We'll have a decent first aid kit. So Rafe's carrying the camp kitchen with him. We'll just go through the camp kitchen quickly. It's something that we put together from stuff I already had, you know, lying around. So we've got a collapsible wash bowl here, which is good for washing the pots, washing ourselves. We have a tea towel. And then inside here, we've got knives and forks, or should I say sporks and spoons, in a nice little canvas bag. If you want to make one of these kitchen bags, I'll put a link in the description. I've got a full video on how to make these from start to finish. If you want to watch that, I've got lots of things you can make. And in here we've got some fire tinder. In here as well, some more fat wood, a pot scrubber, you know, like a little scouring pad. And then we've got some billy cans here. We've got a selection of billy cans. We have some all-purpose soap for washing the pots, pot grabber. We have a big cup, small billy, big billy, Trangia Mini, and then the top to the Trangia Mini here serves as a frying pan. We're not doing a lot of frying, but we have got the means to fry if we want to. Now, This doubles up now as a bowl, so that's someone's eating bowl. So that can be Hannah's. Hannah can use that for eating out of. You can also cook with it. Now in here I've got another frying pan come bowl, which is a bit bigger than that one actually. So that's my bowl if you like, or Rafe's. George has already got his bowl. And we have another aluminium bowl there, possibly for me I think, because that's big, because I'm quite greedy. So we've got an entire kitchen there, and with a maple stove, we're good to go. Now I've just swapped his sleeping bag out. He had a snug pack, bigger sleeping bag, but because it's summer he doesn't need that. So we've swapped it out now for this lighter jungle army bag, British Army jungle bag. He'd be fine in that. If he does get cold, he can borrow my blanket. Right, we're running out of time on this video. I've got so much to show you. I could do 4 videos on this if I wanted to, but I don't want to bore you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get everything put away. I'm going to show you this Packraft. I'm going to show you how good it is. Rafe, do you want to get your kit put away, everything in your bag for me, mate? Yep. Cheers, buddy. Right, I've got everything back in my packs now. We're not fully packed yet. Hannah's got some more clothes she wants to bring and some toiletries and stuff. But it's important to leave a little bit of room in your rucksack if you can help it, so that you can get extra food in, when you get to the supermarket, when you get to your destination. Have a bit of room for your water bottle and your meat and things. So this is the Ituit 100 Packraft decathlon service. Like I said before, it's £400. It's 2 kg, that's the weight of it. Comes in its own bag. The bag itself is the pump that you put it up with. You can also use the bag as a flotation device for safety if you're out on big water. And let's just say you got a puncture for some reason. You can fill this up with air as well and have it as something else to hold on to. The seat as well on the Packraft pumps up separately from the raft itself, so you can use that as a buoyancy aid as well if you needed to. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to get it pumped up over here. So this is the raft itself, folds up on itself. It comes with an instruction manual. It comes with a patch repair kit. You've got a few patches in there that are self-adhesive, ready to repair. You have the seat, you have a hose, and you have the pump bag itself. Right, let's get it inflated. probably get some more air in this if I wanted to, but for the purposes of video, I didn't bother. So you're looking at 10 to 12 pumps with the airbag to get it inflated. It takes about 10 minutes. Putting it away is a bit of a pain, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. So then what you do, you inflate the seat, and then the seat fits in here, and it creates obviously a cushion, and then you clip this part to this clip here, and it keeps the seat in place and it holds it a bit more rigid. Now I have got some folding kayak paddles that are in my man cave, which I'm not going to get out today. You're going to see them in a later video. You're going to see these rafts in action when we go out on our Norway trip. But I just wanted to show you that quickly, in case you was interested in buying one. Now, Rafe's putting up his tent. Now, we've got the family size tent, but we're toying with the idea of him having a one-man tent to give him some space away from his brother so that they're not squabbling all the time. And he's just going to have a practice of putting that up. It's a Vango. I think it's a blade. I can't remember. I'll find out the name of it in a minute. I'll show you that. Yeah, it's the Vango Rapier 100. I bought this years ago. Quite lightweight. You got a little bit of room for kit, but you've got the option, if you just want to use the inner and a tarp, use the inner as a bug net, and for a bit of privacy you can go super lightweight if you wanted to do that. Anyway, let's see what it looks like. Okay, so what you need to do is bend like that. There you go. That's good. You want to get the fly on it? Look over the back with me. Yeah, it's always good practice just to put these up in the garden now and again, get used to it. They're a little bit temperamental with these poles. You do have the attachment points on the inside that you can tie them to. I think they Velcro, here they are, yeah. You can Velcro this pole like that. Just keeps it all in place, you know. He needs to clean this tent out. You'll put your head this end, Rafe. Yeah. So you've got enough room in there for you and your kit, haven't you? Yeah. And you've got a bit of an awning on the front. It's not very big, but you can put wet boots in there and billy cans. But do you want to take it? Yeah. Yeah, right. What we'll do, we'll pack it right down. And if it's a little bit heavy, we'll just take the inner section. Okay. And you can use the super light rab tarp with it. But yeah, I think you'll be happier in there, won't you? Yeah. Yeah. You're studying for your exams, aren't you? So you need to be doing a bit of studying in Norway. So it'll give you a little bit of a classroom. think we've run out of time for this video. Bit of a loose guide, just some ideas, you know, show you a bit of gear. Wanted to show you a bit of gear in case you've not seen some of the equipment we've been accumulating over the years. A few little tips on how to pack stuff, you know, vacuum sealer bags, how to pack toilet rolls, you know, stuff about food. I can go into loads of detail about everything, but I think there's no point. I think I've got everything in this video what I kind of wanted to show you so far. I will do another video on the subject later on. Obviously, we're going to have a full Norway video where you're going to see all the stuff in action, things like that. But I'm going to say thanks very much for watching. Press subscribe. Check out my other videos. Like I said before about the kitchen bag, there's a video on making that. There's a video on making other bushcraft equipment you can look at. See you next time.